Hey everybody, we're back. We are live. It is She-Hulk Watch Party and After Show. We're on episode 3, and thank you for coming on and joining us. We really appreciate it. And just to start off the festivities, I'm Mike Sandoval. This is to my right.
Once again, it is me, the J to the E to the double F free. And what a week it's been. I
No
can't believe
kidding.
I can't believe we're on the 3rd episode already.
Oh, I know. It's gone by really fast.
Wow.
But yes, what a week it has been.
How do we want to get started with this tonight? It's the She-Hulk watch party.
Yep.
So we're going to be watching She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Tonight is episode 3, so we'll be at the halfway we'll be a third of the way.
Yeah,
Just
third.
because this miniseries is 9 episodes.
Yeah.
So Mike and I have already seen the first 4, so we've seen tonight's episode, but we'll be watching the new episode tonight along with you, and then we'll be discussing it afterwards.
Yep. Exactly. But until then, we've talked about a bunch of different topics, and as we get closer to the show, we start talking She-Hulk and the last episode. So yeah.
I think next week is D23, the Disney 23 Expo, and Disney will be previewing and announcing some of their upcoming projects. And the one that's been getting a lot of movement in the last week or so is Wonder Man.
Yeah.
For Marvel. It will be presumably a Disney Plus live action series.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Man is Simon Williams, who's been a member of the Avengers, superhero, one-time supervillain, but then became a hero and a member of the Avengers team. And Variety reported today that Ben Kingsley will be back in the show as Trevor Slattery.
Yep.
From Iron Man 3 and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So what do you think, Ben Kingsley coming back as Trevor Slattery again?
I like it. It kind of brings a connection to everything.
So but what capacity do you think this is going to be related to Simon Williams having a background as an actor in the entertainment industry? Because Trevor Slattery was like this failed actor. Mm-hmm. Which Variety seems to think is the direction they're going.
Yeah, I think that's the way they're going to go. I think that's the way they're going to relate it.
Do you think Simon Williams is going to like start out as a failed actor who becomes like a superhero or something?
Possibly. I know they're not going to go because how is the comic book version of how he became Wonder Man?
Did you ever watch Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
Yes,
animated?
But I didn't.
I think it's similar to that, where he was sort of like a tech industrialist, like Tony Stark, but his company went under. Mm-hmm. Which I think is an interesting idea. Because corporate, because that's kind of capitalism and having competitors.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting angle there. So it was a competitor to Tony Stark and his company went under, and he kind of blamed Tony Stark for that. And he gets manipulated by Baron Zemo into going after the Avengers. So Baron Zemo gives him like superpowers and turns him into Wonder Man to infiltrate the Avengers. But then, the Avengers treat him so well that he refuses to like fight them and turns on Zemo. And then like after he's believed to be dead, he comes back and then he becomes one of the Avengers. And then later he spends time, he tries to become like a Hollywood actor. And he has sort of like a long history in the comic series. But it looks like, well, we don't know for certain, but if Variety says Trevor Slattery is going to have a major role. So
yeah.
Trevor Slattery's big thing was he was this failed actor hired by the Ten Rings to be their decoy Mandarin in the 3rd Iron Man movie, even though the real Mandarin, who wasn't even called the Mandarin, and the leader of the real Ten Rings is Wen Wu. I don't know. But if we're going to see a Wonder Man movie, I think we have to see the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. I agree.
because I feel like a lot of these shows have been missing cool villains.
Mhm,
I think that was missing in Miss Marvel. I think that
mhm,
was missing in Moon Knight.
mhm.
So I think it's something we need for Wonder Man to really push it over the top, and we need a villain like the Grim Reaper.
Mhm.
So I hope we'll get Grim Reaper in this show.
Yeah.
Is there an actor you would like to see play Wonder Man?
I really haven't even thought of one who would be good at playing them, to be honest. Like, I'm just like villain wise, I was gonna go out off of what you said about villains. It's like the shows have not had villains that really meant
Mhm,
anything. I
mhm.
guess it's the best thing to say. And sometimes the movies haven't had that either.
Yeah.
So I think now it's time that they're gonna need to start having villains that actually have stakes.
I'm just saying if they can do Grim Reaper and really just get the right actor as Grim Reaper and really make him sinister and menacing, it can be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they do need a good villain now.
Just because the connection between Grim Reaper, like Grim Reaper is an Avengers villain, but he has a deeply personal connection with Wonder Man. They're brothers.
Yeah.
And he's the older brother of Simon Williams.
Mhm.
But even though he's the older brother, he always feels like he was in his younger brother's shadow.
Mhm.
It's like his younger brother was the golden boy. So, you can have that kind of sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think we can, after everything they've done with Trevor, I don't think they can make him. I don't think they can make him Grim Reaper.
Oh, no. No, no, no,
Plus,
no.
plus Ben Kingsley. I mean, look, uh, he's very spry and in good health for his age, I imagine. But he's also 78, so I
Yeah.
don't see him doing the Grim Reaper stuff.
No, no, no.
And
They
honest, what did you think? But going back to Iron Man 3, what did you think of that plot twist? With they he was never he was just sort of a failed actor who was duped into playing this character.
to me, it always felt like a waste of great talent
Hmm.
because, Ben Kingsley's an amazing actor, and I thought that in Iron Man 3 to have him play a drunk ex-actor was kinda like a waste of great talent.
I feel like they go to that bait and switch
Mhm.
a bit too much,
Yeah.
and like because the Mandarin was a character who was always associated with Iron Man. He
Mhm.
was always Iron Man's arch enemy for
Yeah.
decades. So I understand sort of the problematic aspects and issues with the character.
Mhm.
Um I even remember Shane Black once saying that he found the Mandarin to be a racist caricature. So
Mhm.
it surprised me when we saw that Comic-Con footage and we saw Ben Kingsley playing the Mandarin. But okay, I was like, okay, they're seriously revamping the Mandarin for the movie,
Mhm.
not at all like his comic book character. But then he just ended up being this totally made up uh persona by Advanced Idea Mechanics, and then we ended up getting Shang-Chi where it's the real Mandarin, but technically he's not even the Mandarin. Like that's a
Mhm.
name the that guy what was his name? Guy Pearce's character,
Yeah.
Killian.
There's Killian
Yeah, they
Murphy.
made that name up.
Yeah.
They made that name up. So his real name is Wenwu.
Yeah.
But Wenwu was a cool bad guy in
Yeah, that was a good
Shang-Chi.
bad guy. I gotta admit, it was a good bad guy. It was something
Let's
different.
see.
But that's why I kinda like out of all of, this 4th phase, I think Shang-Chi was been the was probably one of the top for me
I
when it
think if they are doing a Wonder Man series, a TV miniseries or something is probably a safer bet.
Mhm.
Uh,
I agree. Another there's also more verbiage.
I just wonder who they cast as Simon though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they want to go with it like a younger actor? Or do they want to really like lean into that kind of that kind of working Hollywood actor type kind of
Yeah.
thing who's kind of been around and has never really made it He's still struggling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think they're probably going to do the actor thing because I think they need more West Coast superheroes. It's been very East Coast centric. I think
Robert Downey, Iron Man started in the West Coast.
started in the West Coast, but then ended up in East Coast.
Are we sure about that? I guess.
After Iron Man 3, he moved everything out because he lost.
That's right. That's right. So I'm trying to think.
So, and then he was in
I guess so.
New York. So it's like everything got moved to the East Coast except for Ant-Man was West Coast. We got She-Hulk who's West Coast, and have Wonder Man as West Coast. Because I mean, I'm sure they want to one day have a West Coast Avengers. I don't think
Moon Knight was a West Coast Avenger, and he was in London and Cairo.
Yeah.
So we never saw him in the West Coast or the East Coast for that matter.
Exactly. Well, there's more word coming out over the last week about this one, about a movie, Fantastic Four.
I don't even think they're doing West Coast Avengers. They're doing Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. That's
what was
one day as a TV show.
What were you saying though? What came out this week?
Well, this week they're saying that Matt Shackman, who did the WandaVision show, is going to be directing Fantastic Four.
Okay, yeah. Let's look at that.
And that one looked pretty strong because he left. He was supposed to direct Star Trek 4, and he left that. So
he made a good move. He made a good move, I think.
I agree too.
Because they've been kicking around Star Trek 4 at Paramount for too long, and they don't even have the cast signed to new deals.
Yeah.
Paramount got wishy-washy after Star Trek Beyond came out. Remember? Were you at? You were probably at that press conference where they announced the next movie, and they said we're going to do Kirk meets his father and all that. Remember?
Yeah, I got the press release. I wasn't at the press conference, but I got the press release for that.
But they had a press release. Remember that we're going to do a time travel story. Kirk meets his father. It's going to be Chris Pine meets Chris Hemsworth, that kind of thing. Remember?
Yeah.
And then Star Trek Beyond came out. It underperformed at the box office. And then Paramount was like, well, those contracts we signed you to, Zachary Quinto and Chris Pine, well, we can't really honor them because the movie didn't make enough money. So let's go back to the negotiating table. And then I think even though they had already signed Pine, Hemsworth, and Quinto, Spock, to new deals, they were like, no, we agreed on these deals. You got to honor them, right?
Yeah.
And then everything fell apart. And then they started kicking around, I think, new ideas with Quentin Tarantino, with Noah Hawley, and then I think at one point there was S.J. Clarkson was going to direct, and then Noah Hawley, and then it was Matt Shackman.
Yep.
Fresh off of WandaVision. And now they've lost another director.
Yep. And so...
And they still don't have the actors signed.
Well, no, exactly. And the last movie was 2016, which I was shocked that it was 2016 that Star Trek Beyond came out. But that leads to this next thing. Are we going to see him at D23 for that Marvel panel?
I think so, because...
I think so as well.
We know that Fantastic Four is likely in some advanced stage of pre-production. He is the second director on this project. It was originally going to be John Watts, right?
Yeah, it was going to be John Watts.
And John Watts exited the project. So I think we are going to see him. I don't know if we'll get casting announcement by D23, but I think now that we're hearing Matt Shackman, I think that's D23. They're going to do Matt Shackman, and I think Wonder Man. And I think now that we're hearing all this buzz about Fantastic Four and Wonder Man, we'll probably see announcements or logos at D23 next week.
I agree. I think
I can't. D23 is in 9 days. I don't know how I'm going to survive.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Like I have Halloween Horror Nights on September 8th. And then the next day I have the start of D23.
It's gonna be like a bag of dust
Oh, I know.
after the last day.
I'm gonna be so friggin' tired after that.
Someone's gonna have to. Someone's gonna have to scrape me off the concrete.
Yeah, but something tells me about Fantastic Four, that project.
Yeah,
that they already have they're pretty far into production. That I wouldn't be surprised if they announce a cast.
It wouldn't
shock me.
Yeah, I agree. It would not shock me either. I'm sure they have their top picks or people in mind, and I'm sure by D20, I think D23, they're gonna want to make a big splash, and you do that by announcing your main four.
Yeah,
preferably your main four and Doctor Doom.
Yeah, and I also think we're gonna get all those open spaces that they showed. We're gonna know what those open spaces are in the phase. Was it phase 5 and phase 6?
Let's see. Phase.
There was a lot of open spaces.
I want to look at my list of phase 5. Okay, so Quantum Mania is next year. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marvels, Blade, all are expected to come out next year. 2024. Captain America 4, The New World Order, Thunderbolts. So that's phase 5.
Mm-hmm.
So then phase 6, we have Fantastic Four, the Kang Dynasty, and Avengers Secret Wars. So phase 6 is like the phase that needs more movies.
Yeah.
Really. So okay, so all right. So I'm looking at the timeline calendar now. So they need winter 2024, spring 2025.
I was gonna say, do you have that calendar that we can put up?
Yeah, I got it. I'm looking at it on the MCU. Well, let's see. I'm trying to see if I have a higher quality version.
Because that's what I'm looking for right now too. Just after everybody could see what we're talking about.
Because Marvel, I think they sent me some high quality photos. So I'm trying to see if I can get like the
Sorry, folks, for a little bit of the dead air, but we're looking for.
We're looking for some images for Marvel stuff.
Yeah. But the dates I do have the dates right off the bat that are to be.
Yeah, I have the date. I found the dates too.
Which is crazy to me that there'll be 4 movies in 2024.
Right.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 movies, 6
that
movies.
We know of. But
7 movies.
The other thing to keep in mind here, Mike, is that a lot of the dates are placeholders and dates are bound to change.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at how dates have already changed for a lot of these movies. So while we can expect a lot of these dates to remain, some of them could be shifted, some could be switched around. So a lot of dates may not be final.
Yeah, and also too, like in phase 4, we had a little something called a pandemic that kind of screwed a lot of things up.
Right. So, and technically, we're still in a pandemic. So we have, and now we have a monkeypox strain. So look, I'm not saying this to scare everyone. It's just, the pandemic is not over yet, and there is this thing happening with monkeypox right now.
Yeah, I'm not worried about monkeypox.
Well, I mean, I'm not so worried about it either. But how worried? Honestly, how 3 years ago, how worried were you about COVID?
COVID, yeah, COVID was something I was worried about.
Wow.
Well, 2 years ago.
before we were so deep into this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Marvin,
so let me.
we got Marvin back. While you're looking for the image, I'm going to be reading off some comments.
Is Marvin here tonight?
Marvin's here. Let's go. Episode 3. This TV show is growing on me.
Marvin, I feel like you weren't.
Next week. OMG.
Didn't Marvin hate the premiere? What?
Hey, he did say it's growing on him.
Really?
He did say that.
Well, I will say I liked the first episode. I liked last week. Mm-hmm. Tonight, I think, is one of the weaker episodes of the.
Let me try and
zoom. This is small. All right, so we have winter 2024, spring 2025. Mm-hmm. So the first 2025 Avengers movie. We're talking about movies coming out in 3 years.
Well, movies and television shows, because I keep forgetting that this has movies and television shows as well.
So some of these slots, I guess, could be Disney Plus stuff.
Mm-hmm. Marvin I did hate the premiere, but after rewatching it, it's growing.
I guess it's good to know you're changeable, Marvin.
Yeah. And he says, I heard this night's episode end credit scene is crazy.
Well,
I don't remember it, to be honest.
I remember it, but you're just going to have to. I can't say anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I know what he's talking about, but I can't. I can't say what it is. It's but there is one. So I guess. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a feeling that next week at D23, this will all be filled out.
I think at Comic-Con we saw quite a bit, and I think they were definitely holding things back that they're going to show at D23.
Yeah.
I feel like
big question.
Okay.
We're gonna play a speculation game here.
All right.
Anybody who's watching is in the comments want to put in their speculation on this one thing. In any of those dates, which one will be Daredevil?
Daredevil.
Not Daredevil, I mean Deadpool.
Oh.
Deadpool.
That's a good, When would the bet? I'll say Deadpool fall 2024.
I am
winter or fall 2024. Yeah. I'm gonna go with that.
I'm saying summer 2025.
It just feels so late because Deadpool 2 came out. I know, we had the whole acquisition, then the pandemic, but
well, supposedly
can Deadpool really take that long? I mean, man.
Yeah, but also too, it depends on how it's going to play into the saga, because supposedly Deadpool is rumored to be in Secret Wars.
Okay.
And if he's going to be in Secret Wars,
even if he's in Secret Wars, they don't really need him to play heavily. Like, because Deadpool always just kind of doing his own thing, and then he just shows up in other stories whenever he wants, because that's Deadpool.
Yeah,
he's a lunatic.
Marvin says spring 2025.
It just feels too long. But maybe I don't know. Maybe that will make people more. Maybe that will make people more excited or anxious for Deadpool.
Yeah,
because the second one was not as well received as the original.
Yeah, but I think this time it will change that.
I feel like we need to see Deadpool earlier than 2025, but that's just me. I don't. But I think we'll see I think we will see Deadpool in there at some point, and I think it's going to be fun. And I think you can have Deadpool. I think you can have Deadpool just doing his own thing, and I think you can also have him interacting with like the other heroes, because he does that in the comics.
Yeah. Would we see other mutants in this phase?
Will we see the mutants in phase 6? Tough call.
Yeah. Marvin, do
I think we'll
y'all?
find out. I don't wanna make a prediction, but I think we're gonna find out next week.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Marvin, do y'all think actors have a bigger impact on a movie or writers? Writers definitely have an impact because they all have to follow
Well well, Marvin,
the
can
agreement.
you clarify your question, like, in terms of impact, what are you like, do you mean impact on their characters, impact on the story?
And also, too, yes, Marvin, we will be at D23 Expo next week. Jeffrey and I will be there. We'll be doing our thing, trying to sneak into panels. Definitely going to be going
Mike said
to
that, not me. If you're listening, Disney
Hey,
Disney reps.
I'm going to try and get into that amusement park panel any way I possibly can. Because something tells me there's going to be some big announcements at that amusement park panel that are going to be pretty cool.
I think it's a combination. I just think it depends on the writers and the actors. I think they all have an impact.
Mhm. Marvin, like overall, like how good the characters are and how received the movie is.
I think when they cast Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark Iron Man, like I feel like we didn't realize just how enormous that was,
Mhm.
even though it felt like the right call at the time, but I think we were never until we actually saw it, we were never sure just how well it was going to work.
Yeah, yeah. I think the writing has a bigger part with with Marvel. The writing has been more important than the actual actor.
I don't know about that.
I mean, it does have a role,
Because
but
I
if
I I
the
feel
story
like
comes
for a
together.
lot of movies, they write around the actors,
Mhm.
rather than
Because
the
look
other
at
way.
like
Not all the time, but I feel like once Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man really took off, they kind of did it that way. Now,
yeah.
I think with Chris Evans and Captain America, I think it's the opposite.
Mhm.
I feel like Chris Evans kind of like became the comic book Captain America, like
Yeah.
the ideal cinematic Captain America and embodying that character. Whereas with Iron Man, like I feel like Robert Downey Jr. took many things from the comics, but I think he also kind of became a new version of Iron Man Tony Stark that became like the tone that eventually sort of became the Tony Stark
Yeah.
of the moment.
And that's where I say he took what was on the page and developed it into what his character should
Well,
be.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't think it's one or the other. I think it
Mhm.
just depends. I think it
Yeah.
depends on the writers, it depends on the actors. I think Robert Downey Jr.'s impact was bigger than what the writers did for that character.
Yes, I agree. It just made it gave it to another level, and I
Now, I don't know, it's hard to talk about Joss Whedon now after all the recent controversy,
Mhm.
even though I really love the 2012 Avengers movie,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's not maybe not perfect, I think it's pretty close to perfect.
Mhm.
But I feel like my thought was at the time that Joss Whedon was, like, the perfect choice. Coming out of that movie, he was, like, the perfect
Mhm.
choice.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like he gave it a voice that felt that felt like the Avengers of the comics, but he also he made it work. Like, he made all these characters that you feel like in their other movies, it wouldn't work if they got together, but he got them all together and it all worked perfectly.
Yeah.
And they all interacted and played off each other well, and he handled that, I think, better than anyone else could have, and I feel like he stuck with the dynamics of the comics without going to the ultimates, which I really don't like. So, again, I think is just an example of the writer director having, like, a positive impact But I mean, again, I think you had the perfect cast at the time too, especially, you had Chris Evans, you had
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr., you had Scarlett Johansson, and then, you had Tom Hiddleston, of course, who really broke out and became like this amazing character with Loki.
Yeah.
And Chris Hemsworth, and then you had Clark Gregg, Samuel Jackson. So I don't think it's absolute. I don't think it's absolutely one or the other over time. It can be a combination. It can be different. It can switch.
Mm-hmm. Let me get to the comments really quick. Please keep us updated on social media, especially you, Jeffrey. I'll be looking on Twitter.
I'm trying, man.
Also, Mike, any interviews for D23? Marvin, I'm working on that right now to get some interviews.
Things are in the works. Things are in flux.
Exactly. There's a lot of moving parts right now, so I can't tell you who yet and who we're trying to, but hopefully, cross your fingers that we get some interviews at D23. It'll be a first for us. So
cross your fingers for me too.
Yeah, because we're really trying to give you some great content from D23.
I have an even lower digital footprint than Mike, so I'm really busting the hump over here, so to speak.
Yeah, we're really pushing hard here.
We're really in the thick of it now, aren't we, Mike?
Because we got a lot of things going on right now at MUSE, and I'm really trying to get it because we got to I'll tell you guys.
I am so stressed. All I can do is laugh.
Yeah, we're working on the News by MUSE show, which is going to start shooting at the end of September. We're getting as much content as we possibly can, and we're hoping that we have something to really deliver to you guys soon. So I'll let you know next week. I'll have a clear detail and I'll be able to share. Until then, just stand by, come back next week, and we'll let you know. Do you think we will get more on Black Panther at D23? Yes, we will get a trailer. We're definitely going to get a full trailer at D23.
We already got the full trailer.
It was a teaser trailer. They said it was a teaser trailer.
When does the movie come out?
November.
I don't think we'll get. I think we'll maybe. I think rather than a trailer, we'll get like a scene or something.
Possible, but going off of what their track record is, that'd be. What date does it come out again? Was it November 24th or 23rd?
I am
looking. Or is it November 16th?
November 11th.
November 11th.
Yeah.
So that would be 2 months.
3 months, or a little over 2 months.
A little over 2 months,
because it's September. We're about to hit September 1st now. So
yeah, because the date
September, September
10th, October 10th, 11th, November 11th. So it's like 2 months and a day.
No, it's more than 2 months.
Well, if you want September, October, then November. However you want to look at it. It's 2 months.
It's over 70 days.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure with the way they've been delivering trailers, and because when did we get a Thor Love and Thunder trailer? Full trailer.
I'll look for you. Because the movie came out in July. Mm-hmm. So when did the first trailer drop? I don't even remember.
Wasn't it during the NBA final, like NBA playoffs, like in May?
We got the teaser in April.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like everything was thrown off because of the pandemic,
Yeah. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't shock me. Also, we'll continue while you're looking for stuff. Also, Wolverine.
No, he wasn't. I'm not counting that.
That one wasn't. I could even agree. I don't always like to go.
There was something about a guy with claws. There was something like a headline about guys with claws. We didn't see. People are taking that as a Wolverine Easter egg. Yeah. Sure.
I don't go with that one. I'm sorry, Marvin, but that's the one I'm gonna have to say. No, that's not it.
The one time you agree with me.
Yeah, Marvin, writers don't get enough credit. I agree. I really do agree. D23 is elite for fans. Some people can't even get into panels. That is true. That is so
true. I think I might have to go to REI because I might have to do some camping out again.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I'm the type of person who's not going to camp out. I'm never going to camp out for a panel when I could get it, when I'll get the information afterwards.
Well,
that's just me.
I need to see it though. I need to be there.
Yeah. So that's why
I didn't camp out for Marvel Studios. I waited in that standby press cage line, and I just that one time I lucked out.
Yeah. But D23 is another level. And there was supposed to be that people aren't supposed to sleep overnight for certain things. Now that's going to be
3 years ago. They had like this lottery and ticket system kind of thing, which wasn't too bad. But it doesn't seem like they're doing that this year.
Yeah. But as a press, we shouldn't have to be in that lottery. That's what I think.
I think what I recall, we were allowed to give our most desired events for picks, and like we would get like tickets for our like 2 most desired events or something. Something like that.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't necessarily be guaranteed for everything.
Yeah.
I think we will get Matt Shackman at D23, and I think the cast for Fantastic Four is a good bet. Yeah. Now moving on to DC news, DC wise, we got Renewal for Harley Quinn. Now this was a show, like I was seeing clips on YouTube and I was like, this is kind of funny. Then I started really watching it. I guess
you came over to the dark side and watched it?
By the time, kind of, I guess, deeper into season 2, and I'm like, okay, this show's kind of funny. And have you ever watched Venture Brothers, Mike?
Yeah.
For me, like, Harley Quinn really kind of fills that void that was left by Venture Brothers. And I feel like, okay, these guys are kind of doing like what Venture Brothers was doing with like 1960s action and superhero cartoons like Johnny Quest. They're just doing it with the DC universe. And then it just really started working for me. And it's just like an irreverent adult comedy romp around the DC universe. And I enjoy that. It's you can enjoy the characters and their relationships and just don't take it seriously. Have fun, enjoy the humor, enjoy the jokes. It's an animated adult comedy. It's not meant to be and that's fine. You want to know why? Because there's been so many different takes on these characters. There's nothing wrong with, trying something different, and they're just doing an irreverent, goofier take on all these characters, and I think it's brilliant.
Oh,
have you watched season 3 at all?
Yeah, I've been watching season 3 every week.
Joker's like a house husband now, and he's going to PTA meetings.
And the best is
it's hilarious.
Best is Bruce Wayne being whipped over just completely whipped over.
And Bruce is chastising Nightwing for taking things too seriously. What's going on with your voice? What about my voice? It sounds a bit too overly serious. I think it's the appropriate amount of serious. Nightwing's like this. Nightwing's become Batman. It's hilarious. He's this free. They turned Nightwing into this freaking edgelord, and the reason I love it is I hate Titans. I hate the live action Titans, and I feel like this Nightwing is like, I feel like it's just riffing on that Titans Nightwing.
And me, I'm the opposite. I actually do like Titans.
It's still, even if you do, I think it's still fun. And then
a fun show. It got me through. Titans got me through the pandemic.
Oh, and the voice actors are brilliant. You got Alan Tudyk, who's amazing. I mean, he's just an amazing actor. He's like, the dude is the best. He's a great Joker, but he's also a great he's Clayface. I love that Clayface. Like, Clayface is this like desperate, theatrically trained actor who just can't get a break. He's just he's like this melodramatic. He's like this melodrama Queen. He's so desperate for his art, but like he can't get a role because he's Clayface, and now he's like pretending to be Billy Bob Thornton.
I'm sure you saw the James Gunn episode, right?
Oh yeah,
Where he turns
I like
into
to
a
stay
chair.
I like to stay pretty caught up with all of that.
Yeah.
The James
Well,
Gunn cameo, and it was James Gunn voicing himself.
yeah, exactly. Well, let's go into Marvin's. What are you all looking forward to for D23? Jeffrey, I'll let you take that.
It's
I'll
tough
make sure I get
because
the scene ready.
I don't know what we're gonna see in terms of new footage. I think I'm kind of looking forward to Marvel and Disney games because I'm hoping we'll get an update on the Wolverine game and hopefully the next Spider-Man PlayStation game
Mhm.
that will have Venom, Miles, and Peter. So I'm looking forward to that. The Wolverine game that's from the same developers who did the Spider-Man game are doing that Wolverine solo game.
Mhm.
Excited about that. Hopefully, we'll get some new Star Wars game reveals. I think we're getting. They're making a sequel to Fallen Orders, so hopefully we'll get like a new preview or some gameplay. I want some gameplay footage of those games because they will have a game's presence. You see, I would want to see a trailer for Daredevil Born Again, but it's just too early. I think it's just too early for a lot of stuff. So I think we're going to be waiting a while longer to see the really cool footage.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's going to be, I'm looking forward to seeing the Marvel presentation, seeing what Walt Disney Studios and Fox have coming out.
I
Uh,
guess I'm just looking forward to will I even see these things? I guess that's what I'm looking forward to finding out. Will I actually see anything?
yeah. Well, I'm putting out for stuff. I'm definitely doing Nat Geo because Nat Geo's been so good to us. I'm going to do some of their Nat Geos stuff. The one thing I am looking forward to the most because I'm a theme park guy, I'm looking forward to the theme park panels and what they're going to do because of the fact that Universal has Epic Universe opening up in 2025. And that's Universal's third theme park in Orlando. What are they going to do with Walt Disney World and the other resorts? And what are they going to put in new rides? Are they going to take a hands-off approach and not compete with them? Or are they going to compete by doing in new attractions, new experiences in the theme parks? And that stands for Disneyland as well, as we're getting the World Cup and the Olympics here in LA. Uh, what are they going to put into California Adventure or Disneyland? And I want to see if they're going to actually do that X-Men attraction, not X-Men, Avengers attraction at Avengers Campus that they had.
Are we gonna
uh,
get? Are there any expansion plans for the theme parks?
Um, Disneyland has already shown that they want to do an expansion. I don't know if they're going to announce it yet. Uh, for expansions to the park.
Isn't it hard to get sign-offs for like
Yes,
land expansions in Southern California?
For Anaheim, for sure. And they have to get the permits in order to get, even though they own the land,
Mhm.
it's still could be a nightmare.
Hmm.
But I'll be shocked if they show the expansion that they've shown already last year. I think it was last year or a year and a half ago to Disneyland. If that actually happens, or they show anything then, I think we will see expansions into Walt Disney World first. But I don't think they're going to build a new park. I don't think Walt Disney World is going to get a fifth park anytime.
I would like an actual trailer for X-Men 97 next
Yeah,
week.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see that next week because it comes out this year, doesn't it?
No, next year.
Oh, next year. hmm And I guess my thing is that there are talks that they are supposed to. There's an area of expansion for Galaxy's Edge, which makes me wonder if they're gonna actually do a new Tomorrowland. Star Tours will be gone out of there,
Hmm.
and they do something new at
They're
Galaxy.
gonna have to do something new with Galaxy's Edge eventually, right?
They're gonna have to. Like, I mean, what they have is, I mean, they're putting in. They show work that they're putting in the bounty hunter game that they've
Right.
been talking about. That's going in, and they already have it at Walt Disney World, MGM, well, the Disney Studios at in Orlando.
I would like
That is up
I
there.
would like a stunt show or something.
That would be cool. But and that's the thing with me. Like, there should be. They promised an interactive locale. I want to see that interactive locale with the characters and more experiences running around, even like a stunt show. I think a
I was a
stunt show would
kid
be
when
awesome.
I was a kid when it came out, but do you remember the Indiana Jones live stunt show at Disney
Yes,
MGM?
I saw it in 2019.
I always enjoyed that.
Mhm.
I always thought that was fun.
Yeah,
I'd like to see something like that again. But
but
that's just me.
it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with the parks, especially as they're getting more expensive, and I don't know.
Yeah. Um,
My thing, like, I don't mind if
would you
if
do the hotel, the Star Cruiser?
I want to, but not for the price. I'm not gonna spend that much for a hotel room.
I remember at the last D23 we were seeing all the mock-ups of the what is the hotel called?
The Holocron or whatever, I forgot what it's called.
Galactic Star Cruiser.
Yeah, the Galactic Star Cruiser, the Holocron, what they call it, the
What is the yeah, what is the
something with
ship
an
called?
H. I forgot.
I'm sure they'll have some interactive exhibits and kind of like samples uh there. They had like a little like a hotel lobby set up at Celebration the Halcyon?
Halcyon.
The
Halcyon. That's it.
Halcyon.
Yeah, that's it.
The Chandrilla Starline.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have some like, book your reservation and kind of like props and things from the Galactic Star Cruiser
Oh, they
at
will.
D23.
They will. They're gonna need to. D23 is not just an expo. They wanna sell you
Those
Disney.
tickets are so expensive. It's like,
That's a thing.
man,
Like, you
it's
see,
like
like for me, like the theme park, yeah, it's getting a little too expensive, and how crowded it is makes it a bad experience for me. But here's the thing, like, I don't mind if you see constant innovation, constant building, constant every year new attractions, or every other year new attractions coming into the parks. I see that, and I'm okay, cool, that's fine. I see progress.
Mhm.
With Disney, progress is slow when it comes to the theme.
Right. Now, I'll say what I've seen on like online with photos and stuff for the Galactic Star Cruiser, like I would love to do it.
Oh yeah, I would love to too.
I can't afford it. I
When I saw
got bills and
$5,000, I was like, "There's no way I could afford that right now."
all right,
Even
since
if I
we're
made
nearing
the money.
yeah, since we're nearing start time,
Oh,
you wanna inform our viewers how we like to
yes,
do things tonight?
exactly. So, in 2 minutes, probably Marvin already has the episode now. We're gonna be turning off our cameras, turning off the sound. We're gonna watch She-Hulk episode 3 together. As soon as that episode is completed and done, and post credit scene, we will come back and we will go back live, and we will be talking about what we thought of the show, what we liked, what we didn't like, and then eventually give it a rating. And that's how the show works. Marvin, since we started already, have you got the episode yet?
Yeah,
Please.
we didn't know if Marvin was getting it first last week.
Yeah. Well, he's a
Welcome back, Sladro.
see, and there you go. He got the episode.
Well, it's 11:49, so we'll be getting it
Yeah,
in a matter of seconds anyway.
it's live, you guys. Let's see if it's live for us. Is it? Are
Not
you
I
sure?
just checked and it's not for me, but again, we'll be there in a second.
Let's see, since I'm watching it on my phone today because I need to fix my TV.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, the LED strips on the back of the TV went out. Yeah, I haven't got it yet.
And also for wrestling fans, this is an exciting weekend. We have Clash at the Castle, NXT Worlds Collide, and AEW All Out, all happening this weekend.
I know, like whoever
And it gives
decided that this weekend's the weekend, it is
I
the
get
weekend.
I want to kick someone in the shins for that. Putting all those events in the same weekend.
It's a busy weekend. Oh, and plus we got the Foo Fighters tribute concert for Taylor Hawkins on Saturday as well at 8 a.m. Then wrestling starts at 10 a.m.
All
here on the
right,
West
here we
Coast.
go. The People versus Emil Blonsky. We will see everyone in a little bit.
Cool.
Free, and we will be back in a minute. Once Mike is ready, and we will be conducting the after party portion of tonight's She-Hulk Attorney at Law. So we got a little bit of Abomination. We got Megan the Stallion. Megan the Stallion.
We got Megan the Stallion in this episode.
Oh dear Lord. And the Wrecking Crew. The MCU debut of the Wrecking Crew, who I think should have been in Miss Marvel, but we got here.
Yeah.
So Megan the Stallion, Mike, your thoughts. Take it away.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was a good fit, especially considering the guy thought he was dating Megan the Stallion.
Dennis Bukowski, her old colleague at the DA's office.
Exactly. That's what makes it better.
Who drives a Cybertruck. How do you even get a Cybertruck is what I want to know.
Exactly.
Does anyone have a Cybertruck?
They're even available. Yeah. That's the funny part, but
the humor didn't work for me this week. I wasn't really that enthusiastic about the episode this week.
Yeah.
Okay. I have okay. Do you
go?
What the hell is Wong talking about? He forced Emil out of his cell to fight him in China, and that is not what happened. Why is Wong lying, and why does Jennifer believe them?
I don't know.
I know that Jennifer is the lawyer and this is her client and all that, but like nothing is kosher about any of this. Like, did it look like Blonsky was fighting him in Shang-Chi against his own free will? It looked like they were cooperating with each other, and it looked like they were fixing their fight.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
And my immediate thought was, okay, they're fixing this fight so they can win the money. They can get the winnings. They can put on a fight, make it look good, and win some money. They have some money on the side, but
I'm thinking that's gonna come up somewhere down the series.
Wong is talking about I needed someone to fight me so I could be sorcerers. That's not what was happening.
Yeah, that's why I have a feeling. This is the reason why I say the truth is gonna be told.
But why is Wong lying here, and what was actually going on?
Yeah, well, I don't know that.
Because Wong is not. Something isn't kosher about it. None of this is kosher. None of this works for me. Again, this is only the 3rd episode, and there are 6 episodes left. So maybe there's going to be an explanation to all this, or
what I say.
But I don't understand it right now.
That's why I say I don't know how it works, but something tells me we're gonna find out.
The one kind of I like the fourth wall stuff this week.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of in the spirit of the She-Hulk comics. She-Hulk, Jennifer talking to the camera. The meta references. For She-Hulk they work because it's always been a part of the She-Hulk comics, going back years, and it was those I think were cute, but the Megan the Stallion stuff was like,
yeah,
it just felt like. It felt like cheap sitcom humor to me, and I get that this is paced like a legal sitcom. I get that, but it didn't really interest me. It didn't really keep me going.
That one kind of
whatever.
It's that star power that you need to throw in every so often in a sitcom that you get the cameos and stuff.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was, and I get it. They're writing this. They're not writing this as a superhero show, at least in these early episodes. They're writing it as a sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just be clear, because there are a lot of people, there are a lot of hot takes about this show on Twitter, on YouTube, that I have a big problem with.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind if you like this show. I think if you are like or enjoying the show, if you're like Marvin, where like, okay, you didn't like it at first, but now you're enjoying it, great. If you like the Megan Thee Stallion stuff, great. But there's certainly people in the discourse on this show that I think are not making arguments in good faith, and I think they're taking a certain side for a reason, and I don't want to go too much deeper than that. I just didn't really like tonight's episode, and just, the
Mm-hmm.
humor around Blonsky's defense, the Wong storyline, it just didn't click for me, and the big payoff with everything was built around the Megan Thee Stallion stuff. That's all. Like, that was the big payoff this week, and it just wasn't enough for me.
Well, let me get to comments right now. Sladro, my thoughts on this episode, very plain. Megan Thee Stallion parts were cringe as hell. Wrecking Crew was hilarious. I wonder who's the boss. CGI seemed kind of weird to me. Laugh out loud, but I gave this episode a 5 out of 10. In Shang-Chi, it seemed like they fought before.
It seemed like they knew each other.
Since Wong said they practiced. Also, didn't like how they kept Emil's human voice rather than how he sounded in The Incredible Hulk. He sounded like Korg to me. Laugh out loud.
Okay, so, well, it's Tim Roth.
Yeah. I think the reason why they used his voice to show that he could control.
My first guess on the Wrecking Crew's boss, I believe it. If it was Samuel Stearns, it would make sense. Because what did Samuel Stearns want in The Incredible Hulk, Mike? What did he want?
Wasn't his blood?
He wanted whose blood did he want?
Yeah, the Hulk's.
Right.
Bruce Banner.
And what was the Wrecking Crew after this week?
Her blood.
Yeah. Thunderball was trying to get a blood sample from her. Mm-hmm. So if this is how we tie things back into Incredible Hulk, with Samuel Stearns the leader, it would make sense. Yeah. We don't know. I don't think we know if we are getting the leader, but that would just be my first guess. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to see it's a leader, but something tells me it's going to be somebody else, because you know how they change things up at Marvel. I mean, so I'm hoping it is a leader.
And again, something's not making sense with this Abomination thing with Blonsky. I don't know. Something is not right there, and I have a feeling that it's going to come back to bite Jennifer later on. But we'll see.
I agree.
I mean. Okay, the stuff with the soul, having his pen pal soulmates at the hearing, like what even is that? Like, that's and again, I get it. They're making this is a sitcom. It's a comedy series. It's a legal comedy. Mm-hmm. It's so sitcoms like this, they're absurd. I just didn't find it funny very much, other than the fourth wall meta humor. Mm-hmm. I think who's her legal colleague? What's his name? Pugliese?
I forgot her name is. You got to go back to that.
Pugliese? Augustus Pugliese?
Yeah.
The stuff with the light elf from Asgard, it was just goofy. I just didn't really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And even the fight with the Wrecking Crew was short, and we didn't really learn much about the Wrecking Crew. But we might see I got a sense we'll probably see them again. Mm-hmm. And they race swapped one of the Wrecking Crew, interestingly enough.
They did? I don't know.
Thunderball.
Oh.
Which I was a bit surprised by, because that was the one guy they named in the episode.
Uh-huh.
And he but I think personally I think the Wrecking Crew should have been in Miss Marvel, because Miss Marvel could have used some like more fights and villains like those characters, and it just would have been a good way to showcase that we're seeing more supervillains pop up in the modern world, and then we need heroes like Miss Marvel to fight them.
Yeah, yeah. Going to the comments, would make sense if leader is the boss.
Yes, it would.
There's a reason Wong needs Emil, but we just don't know what.
He said Kumite, so he said he needed an opponent to like prove his strength as a Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh, that's what he's telling.
That was a load of bunk.
That's what he's telling the people.
It looked like they were fixing fights because they probably wanted to make some money.
Yeah, and that's what he's telling.
Tuna melts aren't going to pay for themselves, Mike.
Exactly. That's technically he didn't pay for those either. Doctor Strange did. But
Doctor Strange was dead for 5 years, so he probably had to figure. He probably had to. Say.
He's just trying to not give that impression.
But why even lie? But why even lie to Jen over the real reason?
Because he needs to get him out for some reason. He needs to get Blonsky out, and for him to come and he was able to get out. Kind of a payback is to get him out of prison.
Is this even? Can we even trust this is the real Wong?
Don't know.
What if this isn't Wong?
It could be. We don't.
What if it's a Skrull?
That's possible.
I have a question for you, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
If this was a Skrull, would we even know it?
Nope.
Am I being paranoid here?
No, because this is something that we're leading to.
So what if Wong was replaced by a Skrull and the Skrull wanted some easy cash?
Yeah, possible.
And the Skrull was not on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
And the Skrull's like, hey, I'll get you out of here for a little bit and we'll make some money on the side.
Mm-hmm. Possible. Very possible. Especially with Secret Invasion coming in and whatever they're gonna do next in the future. Because kind of makes sense.
Skrull, how good are Skrulls at like copying abilities and whatnot?
I do not have a clue. I never got into those comic books.
They seem like they can copy abilities and powers and memories, but I don't know to what degree. Yeah. Could be a Skrull. Yeah. But can Skrulls have Wong's powers besides Super Skrull? Good question.
Yeah.
I don't know the limits of the Skrulls' abilities or what they can and can't do. I guess they can't. I guess it's just like a physical simulation.
Yeah. I thought it was just they could copy.
It still doesn't make sense to me why, like, if Wong needed an opponent, why did he need Abomination, and why they were fixing fights, and why he's making up this bunkload story?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing makes it. Just maybe it will become more clear in the latter half of the series, and it will make more sense later. But right now, I'm like, what?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is like, right now the way the series is going, there's not enough information to be able to know where everything is going to go yet. I mean, for us, we've already seen the 4th episode, and even like we'll talk about it next week, but
we can't even really say that much about. But we have seen the 4th episode.
We have seen the 4th episode, but it's like it kind of plays into this whole thing where I have a feeling episode 5 through 9 is what really tells the story. What ties everything up together, I hope. And lets us know a little bit more into what's going on.
I mean, I get this is a sitcom, but like Blonsky could not be more phony.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could not look more insincere and like putting on a performance for the parole board, you know?
Yeah.
And I get this is a comedy and it's meant to be exaggerated, but like the fact that he walked away and gets granted parole is absurd.
Mm-hmm. How do you not know the people who granting the parole aren't squirrels?
You got me there, Mike.
Yep. Well,
but I mean, if they are scrolls, how does it benefit them to let Blonsky go?
I don't know.
Unless they're gonna try to get Blonsky to work for them,
mm-hmm.
or they're gonna study him or something.
Yeah. Sladro, like if they could, then high possibility that this Wong is a scroll. Wong definitely has a higher purpose for Emil. Just honestly, I can't predict, but I can't wait for that.
I just don't understand why the real Wong. To me, that whole thing about like I need a good opponent for a Kumite to prove I'm the source. Like none of that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and sorry, Sladro adds, but then the parole board would never have called out Wong for admitting a crime if per se Wong was a scroll. True.
No, what I mean, they could have.
They could have just to play the part, but I don't know.
Make it look good for the pen pals, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Make it look good for the security guards.
Yep.
You know, you have to commit to the performance when you're a scroll.
Yep.
To make it look good for the peanut gallery.
Mm-hmm. But what else do we have to talk about this episode, though? That's the one thing.
I think Tatiana Maslany is very good. I think she embodies this character, the attitude, the presence, the charisma of this character. I think she is still the best part of the show, and she's got all of that down pat. I just wish like I was a bit more excited by the story, and you know, the comedy was just something I could find funny. But right now I just don't.
Yeah. Maybe they'll change in 5 through 9. I don't know, but right now I'm trying to piece everything together, and it's just
my feeling is maybe like these episodes now are leaning heavy onto the legal sitcom style, and then maybe like by the finale we'll have like a big like knockdown drag out spectacle. But we'll see.
We'll see.
We will certainly see.
Well, definitely next week is episode 4. So let's see what happens.
Well, we already know.
Yeah, but I'm trying to do it for the audience that hasn't seen it yet.
I mean, we can say our general thoughts and feelings on episode 4. Yeah, I think we can.
But
I was not enthusiastic about episode 4 either. But
yeah,
I will get into more detail as to why next week.
Next week we'll talk about it. What would you rate this episode for you?
This week was a 5 out of 10.
I'd go a little bit higher. I'd go a 6 out of 10.
And you know, you like this episode a little more than me, and that's fine. I respect that. Yeah. And I don't want to. I am not here to. What was that?
I was gonna say it's still not as high as other shows, Marvel shows that I've like I've given Marvel shows higher.
You know, I
just
whoever is liking and enjoying the show, I'm not here to force my opinion on others, and I don't want to ruin other people's enjoyment for the show. This is just how I feel.
Well, that's the
way it's not because you're wrong or whatever. I just think we all have our own opinions, and we have to appreciate.
There's
we have
things I'm gonna like that you're not gonna like. There's things I'm not gonna like that you're gonna like. That's just the way it is, and it's like that's just my thought.
I just want us all to kind of respect our opinions and not. I don't think we need I think we've all gotten. I think not all of us, but I think we've gotten too obsessed with shoving our opinions down each other's throats, and it's like, no, this is it. I don't want. Huh?
Really?
Am I?
I haven't seen that at all.
Well,
I'm just
look.
joking, man. That's been like the case recently, like over the last
Yeah,
couple
I
of years.
just want. I think we. I want this to be a place where we can all express our feelings and we can all still respect everyone. We can
Exactly.
respect everyone and we can respect each other even if we feel differently.
Yep.
So I don't want, I don't want my opinions to hurt other people's opinions. So I think if you're liking and enjoying the show, great. Keep it up.
Exactly. One last comment before we start closing up shop, Sladro. All we got are our opinions, to be honest. I just hate how these people that try to convince others to follow their POV,
Yeah.
they keep point of view, and I agree with you, Sladro. But hey, let them know where they could find you, what you got coming up this week.
All right. So 411 Mania. Check out my latest reviews. Check out my review of Dragon Ball Super, Superhero, my review of Funny Pages. I'm Jeffrey Harris, the J to the E to the double F ray. You can also check out my profile on Rotten Tomatoes that has all of my most recent reviews of Beast, of Dragon Ball, of Bullet Train, and all sorts of other great films. Check that out. And I will be at D23 next week, and I'll be doing hopefully some live coverage. So check out my Twitter at Wheeljack83 and stay tuned for 411 Manias for hopefully some recaps of D23, depending on how things go.
Yeah. Awesome. I'll be at D23 as well next week. We are also starting our Halloween coverage. This week I have somebody at Universal Studios, Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights. So we're going to be bringing footage from Orlando. And next week we'll be at Universal Studios Hollywood for Halloween Horror Nights here in LA. So stay tuned for that coverage as well, plus D23. And next week we'll let everybody know what we'll be doing on D23, what our coverage will be like here on the show. We're not going to release it anywhere else. And so come back, stay tuned, because I'm gonna give you the whole list of things that we're gonna be covering at D23 next week, in addition to other things that may be popping up in between then. But take a look, stay on YouTube on MUSE TV. Check us out on Roku. Well, check us out on Roku, Amazon Fire TV as well, before I forget. And and we'll see you next week here on the She-Hulk Watch Party and After Show. Have a great night and see you guys later.